Now for what students and their parents need to know about sex, drugs, and flunking out. We're going to turn to Joel Epstein, author of a book with exactly that title. He joins us from New York this morning. Good morning, Joel.
Good morning.
All right, the subtitle to that is Answers to the Questions Your College Student Doesn't Want You to Ask. What are some of those questions?
Well, first I want to say that the book is really a very general college guide for all sorts of parents and all sorts of students. It's the kind of book that you're going to want to get early in high school, actually, and that you're going to want to use almost as a Bible all the way through and well into the first couple of years of college. It's certainly got a great deal about drugs, about sexual activity, about college drinking, but it's also got a great deal of information about academic preparedness, about money matters, about paying for college. And I think it's, again, a very good general guide for college parents.
All right, Joel, great pitch for the book, but let's get down and dirty here. You are very specific in this guideline. For example, when you talk about parents being proactive, for example, when a roommate problem comes up, you're pretty graphic here. You say parents should intervene in roommate conflicts, and then you talk about the serious issues of, say, a roommate threatening another roommate with a gun violation. Well, is that the kind of portrait that you're seeing kids going into college facing?
I think the more common problems that roommates encounter are roommates who may be having a boyfriend or girlfriend over rather frequently. I've heard stories about college kids who have to endure their roommate and a girlfriend or boyfriend sitting around watching pornographic movies all the time. That's very difficult on a student. Similarly, drug use, pressures of that sort are very difficult for students. And I think parents should intervene if their student appears to be having a hard time with mental health concerns, with academic issues, and very much with roommate issues.
We're going to get into exactly how they should intervene with their kids in just a moment, but let's talk about drugs. GHB, ecstasy, marijuana, booze. What are the dangers on campus? What's the drug of choice these days?
Well, again, and really for a very long time, the drug of choice has been alcohol. It continues to be. It's practically free in many college communities. And I'm certainly not a prohibitionist. I really do believe that alcohol is a part of the culture, a part of the society. But I do think that parents should be very concerned. I think that parents should try to help their kids avoid schools where the norm is high-risk drinking, heavy drinking, just out of control.
But how can you tell unless you go on campus yourself and check out the parties?
Well, that's exactly what I recommend in the book, that parents set aside some time and visit the campus with their son or daughter while school is in session. Very important. It's a nice opportunity for you to get to know or get reacquainted with your child who may have been quite distant from you for the last few years.
But listen, you're asking parents to do that at a time in a child's life where it's all about finding your ultimate independence and living on your own and making your own mistakes. I mean, you're recommending that not only parents visit the campus, but they actually attend some of the initial classes, that they read the student newspaper. It's almost as if you're asking parents to check out a daycare center for a child who can't help himself.
No, not really. I think what I'm really saying is that parents should be involved with their children in this very important life decision. It's the largest investment that most students and their parents will ever make outside of purchasing a house. I think you should be as best and as informed a consumer as you can about all of these issues.
So how do you make it a welcoming experience then between parent and child? If the kid is saying, look, I don't want you there, this is embarrassing, how do parents build that bridge then?
I think that parents should take a back seat during the college tour, but they should challenge their student with hard questions about individual responsibility and wise choices that the students are going to be making. Again, it's a very difficult time for many students, and I think parents who are candid with their kids about the fact that if they're partying all of the time, they're going to have a hard time making the grade academically. We're in a tough economic environment. I think parents that are speaking with their kids while in high school and junior high school and who continue that dialogue via email and frequent or perhaps some visits and phone conversations are going to serve themselves and serve the parent-child relationship very well.
Right.
And most of all, I'm an advocate of individual responsibility, teaching students to really take responsibility for their actions in a responsible way.
And never underestimate what you're getting into. One of the tips you say is never take a drink that you didn't pour yourself, so you know what you're getting into at a party. You control your circumstances.
Very much so.
Good tips. Thanks so much, Joel Epstein, author of a really useful guide for parents. Vince?
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on.